Good morning, everyone. This is Sarah from Dive Worldwide, our first Zoom live dive chat. We're very pleased to welcome Daniele from Siladen Resort in Bunaken Marine Park. There he is, having a little wave at you there in the nice, warm Indonesia. I imagine most of you are accustomed to Zoom. We've just spoken about making yourselves on mute and doing your own video if you want to be seen or not. We'll have a chance for questions later. There's obviously the chat function at the bottom if you want to put some questions in there. And I know many of you have sent in some questions already, which hopefully Daniele will answer quite a few of them during the presentation. I do believe I might be able to put a hand up as well, just to give me a little nudge in case I've missed you. So I think we'll, without ado, we'll hand over to Daniele from Siladen Resort and Spa. It's a family-run resort. Siladen was built by Daniele with the help and inspiration from his father and his brother. So he obviously is in the perfect place and the perfect person to talk to about the resort, apart from Paul, who's been there a lot. I do remember when I visited, I really enjoyed having a 4-poster bed, which is quite cool. And I saw my first frogfish on Lakuan 1, I think it was. So that's like a signature dive site around the area. I also was lucky enough to see quite a few eagle rays over at Mike's Point. Cool. My other favourite dive site while I'm still here was Tangent Copy, I think. So it's a really cool place where the two walls meet and you get a bit of a rush every now and again, but you're diving on the foothills of a volcano, an extinct volcano. But nevertheless, it's such a cool place to be, and you're right there in the park, so you can get everywhere earlier than everyone else. Some people come from the mainland. Magnificent corals, so many critters to see, and turtles. I'll leave Daniele to talk about them. Cool. Thank you very much, Daniele. It's over to you.
Thank you very much, Sarah, for the nice presentation, and good morning, everybody. It's evening here. I'm speaking. Thank you very much for joining. I think you should mute everybody, Sarah.
Yes, but then it mutes you as well.
I'll unmute myself. This is fine. Okay, perfect. So hi everybody. Sarah already spoke a little bit about me and the resort. I moved to Indonesia in 2001 when I started to build Siladen. That was actually my father's dream. And I've been living here in Indonesia since then. I actually now moved to Bali, and we have 2 beautiful partners and manager at the resort that are Anna and Miguel. But I'm here tonight, and I'm the one that's going to make the entire presentation. So I will start showing you a beautiful video, and then I will show you some picture, and I will talk about you know, what we have been doing at the resort. Once I finish the presentation, if you have any question, we will open the microphone, and please make all the questions you wish to make. I hope you enjoy it.
You will grow up someday. If you simply close your eyes, as if you were listening to music. Still see, can't get it on your mind. You don't have to try to understand anything.
A Zoom meeting. What? A Zoom meeting.
What's a Zoom meeting?
Wait.
She needs to mute her microphone.
Reaching in the darkness, I came here for an answer. It's the nerve ends in your skin turning electric vibrations into heat and temperature. I'm ready to fall. I'm leaving it all. I'm ready to fall. All these clothes, I'm going inside to cut the line. It's your eyes that are turning the sun into light, and in that way, you are creating the world. But don't hurry anything. Just watch whatever is happening. I've been holding in everything. I just want to say the words out loud. I will make it the best of me. Gravity holds the key for me now. Be entirely content of what is. I'm ready to fall. I'm leaving it all. I'm ready to fall. All these clothes, letting them go inside. The same sort of feeling you have as if you were settling down into an extremely comfortable bed. And soon you will find that the so-called outside world and the so-called inside world come together, and all you're doing is watching it.
I hope you enjoyed the video. So this is Siladen Island. We are right in the middle of the Bunaken National Marine Park. This is where we are, right on the top of Sulawesi Island. Basically, Sulawesi is formerly known as Celebes, is part of the Greater Sunda Island. It's the world's 11th largest island, situated between Borneo and the Maluku. The Greater Sunda Island includes Indonesia, the island of Sumatra, Java, Sulawesi, and Borneo. You get the Manado as an international flight. It's an international airport that they fly 4 times a week from Singapore with Scoot Air, and there are also daily flights from Bali and Jakarta. And it's actually also a very good connection from Manado for people that want to combine it with Rajampa, that has become very famous during the past few years, and you have a direct flight from Manado to Sorong. Coral reefs are the most diverse habitat in the sea, basically the tropical rainforest of the ocean. We are right in the middle of the Coral Triangle, which includes part of Philippines, Malaysia, Indonesia, Timor-Leste, and Papua New Guinea. Basically, the Coral Triangle is really unique. It's the epicenter of all the coral reef biodiversity on Earth. As you move away from the Philippines or Indonesia in any direction, the number of coral species, they actually decline dramatically. From over 600 species that we have in Indonesia, you go to 350 on the Great Barrier Reef or East Africa, and down to only 70 in Belize. So this is really the center of everything. Bunaken Marine Park it covers about 890 square kilometers, 3% of which is terrestrial, and the rest is water. And it includes the islands of Siladen, Bunaken, Manado Tua, Monte Age, and Naim. There are more than 390 species of reef-building coral, thousands of species of reef fish, and countless species of invertebrates that calls Bunaken Marine Park their home. The high level of marine biodiversity that is found in the park combined with the rising level of ecotourism, means that Bunaken is really considered one of the world premier tropical dive destination. Let's go and see a bit about the diving and snorkeling. We have from Siladen very easy access to over 50 world-class dive sites, of which more than half of them are also very good for snorkeling. Actually, I would say 80% of them are very good for snorkeling. Surrounding the 5 islands of Bunaken Marine Park, there are a lot of very beautiful shallow reef, which makes very good and various sites for the snorkeling. Then the water goes down dramatically and become, they become very beautiful walls that they are amazing for diving. Most of the sites surrounding the islands are either vertical walls or step slopes, although there are some exceptions. The sites along the North Sulawesi mainland, they are actually black sand, and that has become more and more famous during the past few years because black sand diving and muck diving is internationally known also for lembe. But Manado itself has a lot of sites that allow us to see or mostly everything that you can see in lembe. These are some pictures from divers and snorkelers around. On the last few years, we have been developing our snorkeling trips a lot, and we have actually created a specific snorkeling boat. And while the snorkelers, if they are in couple with the divers, can go on the same boat, if the dive site does not allow to snorkel, we have this special boat that brings them to other places. We have started this program that gives the snorkeler actually the same attention that we give to divers. So we do 4 snorkelers with 1 snorkeling guide. And we have all the equipment available. Our staff are professionally trained. And we have actually developed not only morning and afternoon snorkeling, but also night snorkeling or fluorescent snorkeling, which you will see some picture while we go forward. All the diving and snorkeling spots, they are from 1 minute to a maximum of 45 minutes boat ride from the resort. This is inside the marine park. And then we also offer trip to the Banca area or to the mainland in Manado, especially this few dive site that would take more than 45 minutes, but it's outside the marine park. These are some pictures of what you can see, the quality of the corals, turtles, beautiful, beautiful diving with healthy reefs and big variety of fish. A lot of turtles and turtles and turtles. And of course, muck diving. Critter diving. Many people assume that Bunaken is only wall diving, actually, but this is not true. The marine park covers a large section of the Sulawesi coastline, which, as I was saying before, is very good for muck diving. And muck diving in Bunaken Marine Park, it's very easy accessible from Siladen. It takes us 15 minutes to enter in some of the most amazing dive sites on the mainland, where you can actually see a lot of blue-ring octopus, flamboyant cuttlefish, frogfish, stargazers, and turtles. Let me show you this video where you can see turtle hatching at the resort. We have a beautiful turtle hatchery that we developed together with WWF since many years ago. With the Marine Park Association, we started trying to save the turtles because many years ago the locals used to find them on the menu. They used to put them on the menu. But since I arrived in Siladen, I made an agreement with the locals because I discovered that they actually prefer chicken eggs than turtle eggs. And we made this agreement with them. We started saving them. And in 2019, just to give you an idea, we released over 1,500 turtle at sea. Guests that have been coming with us for years and years, they notice that the population is increasing. And one of the most amazing things that I found myself is that you can actually see little turtles swimming around the reef for months after they are released at sea. Have a look at this video.
Let me out of here!
So this is our diving center area. We are a PADI 5-star diving center. We have a beautiful camera room where guests can actually wash, dry, clean, and keep the camera safely without bringing back into the room. Then we have an equipment room and a briefing room. We do maximum 4 dives a day now. We used to do 3, but now 4. We do 2 morning dives. We leave the resort at 8 o'clock. We usually meet 10 minutes before at the briefing area. Then we go out for 2 morning dives, 70 minutes per dive with a 1 hour surface interval. As I mentioned before, all the dive sites, they're pretty close to the resort. We tend to go further away on the first dive and then get closer to on the second dive. But our guides are very well trained, and they see if there's current. They usually move around and do another briefing on the boat before the second dive. Then we come back at the resort for lunch, and guests that want to keep diving, they can do an afternoon dive at 3 o'clock. There is a Mandarin dive at 4:30, and there is a night dive at 6 o'clock. These are actually 5 dives, but because of the time, guests can do 3 to 4. And we have just had a new dive, which is the blackwater diving. We are developing these with our team at the diving center, and it's usually after dinner, 9 o'clock at night. It's a new kind of diving where guests go and see the biggest migration that there is in the world, and this is plankton. Basically, every night, depending on the moon, billions and billions of weird animals are coming on the surface from the deep waters, and we are there to look at them. And it's really an amazing experience. These are our boats. We now have 8 boats, 7 of which are for diving. Some are in wood and some other in fiberglass. We have 1 and 200 horsepower on board that allows us to go very fast from one dive spot to another. All the equipment that you would expect from a high operation standard resort, including safety equipment, navigation system on board, and all our captains are trained and have been working with us for many years. Maximum, we put 10 guests per boat, and as I said before, every 4 guests there is 1 guide. You will find the snack, water, there's a camera, there's a back where you can wash and rinse your camera. You always find towels on board, dry towels and hot towels, because it's nice to get a hot towels when you finish the dive. We have toilet on board, the beautiful sun deck. Then we have, once you get back at the resort, an equipment area. There is something very important about Siladen. We host maximum 50 guests, and we have 140 people working around the 50 guests. So there's a lot of attention into details. We have and these you will hear more and more during my presentation, because in every area we try to put a lot of attention in what we do. We have an equipment area, but actually the guest rarely enter inside the equipment area because our staff take care of the equipment from the moment they arrive. We will take in charge all the equipment, and we will give it back to the guest at the end of the vacation, dry and sanitized, and every morning they will find it on the boat. They just need to check that everything is there before going out for diving, but we mount, take it down, clean, wash, rinse every day. So we have an equipment area that is there to make sure the guest knows where their equipment is. But if you don't want to touch it, you don't need to. And we have nitrox available at the resort, 12 liter, 15 liter tanks. We have a membrane system and a blending system. And we follow all the DAN guidelines and procedures. This, just to tell you, we have been studying during this COVID period how to make sure that guests are safe. And we are preparing different bags to make sure that we don't wash guest equipment together. And we are changing our procedure to make sure that there is no contact between regulators, wetsuit, and you know, we will do the best to make sure that Siladen operation is very safe. Some water sport activities includes kayak, paddleboard, and we have a little car to bring the guest back and forward from the entry point of the boats. Siladen has a big change in tides, like all the marine parks, which is what makes the corals so healthy. And sometimes we have very low tide. We cannot access directly in front of the resort, so guests will have to walk a couple of 100 meters. And some guests don't want to walk, so we actually bought a golf cart that can carry 6 bags at a time to make sure you don't have to walk around the island. The island is very small, 24 hectares. You can go around in 45 minutes. There are no cars, some little motorbikes for the locals to go around. But it's a very beautiful tour to do on the beach. It's about 45 minutes to an hour to go around. I forgot to mention that once you arrived from Singapore to Manado, we will pick you up at the airport. We have our own cars that pick up the guests with our staff. It's about 45 minutes by car and 30 to 40 minutes by boat, depending on which jetty we use. So let's talk a bit about the resort. This is our main area, the pool area. We have a beautiful 24 by 24 meter saltwater pool, which is the center of the resort, and where mostly of the guests spend time when they're not diving. We have just built a nice yoga and multifunctional room next to the pool. We do yoga or other activities, which include cinema presentation on top, and we use it as a bar downstairs. This is our bar area, where we also have a billiard, lounge, a library, and our staff have been trained during the years, and they can make very good cocktails. All the spirits available for people that are not diving. This is a bit of the beach from a drone with the pool. And now let's talk about the rooms. We have different category of rooms. We start from the luxury villa. They are our most luxurious room. They have a bedroom, a separate living room with a private beach in front. On the deck outside, there are sofas, nice hammocks, and also a beautiful small jacuzzi for guests that are really looking for luxurious space. All the rooms are equipped with air conditioning, minibar, all the facilities you would expect from a boutique 5-star resort. And all the bedrooms have open air Balinese style bathrooms. We have 3 luxury villas, and these can accommodate from 2 up to 4 people. This is the beach just in front of the luxury villa. Then we have 6 beach bungalows. They are also very big in size, about 64 square meters. More traditionally Indonesian wooden style bungalow with all the amenities and the private beach as well. Then we have 12 garden villas. These don't have the private beach and they're slightly smaller, but they're still very comfortable. And actually many of the guests that comes and are concentrated into diving, they prefer to get these rooms, saving a bit of money on the rooms and spending more on the diving. They have the same amenities that you would find in the other rooms, television with very few channels though, air conditioning, hot water, of course, in the bathroom, all the amenities. And these, you can see below a picture of the open air Balinese style bathrooms. Then we have 2 double bedroom villa. We have just finished building a new one. We have one in the garden, our first family villa, and we have built one on the beach. These rooms have 2 bedrooms with 2 bathrooms and a separate living room. They are very good for families with kids or group of friends. Let's talk about the restaurant. Siladen has been famous over the years for the food. We have always wanted to give a lot of attention to the food because it's the only place where you can actually eat on the island. We have an Italian chef resident at the resort. We produce everything in-house. We produce our chocolates, we produce our breads, our pizza, our pasta. And the nice thing of having 140 people working around only 50 guests is that we move the restaurant every day from inside, where we have a beautiful space, to outside, actually, on the beach. Mostly of the time, if the weather allows, we would eat at lunch under the trees, and at night either on the beach or sometime around the pool. We usually have breakfast buffet, so that we make sure guests can quickly have breakfast and go in the water. We produce our own croissant. We usually have 6 to 8 different cake and croissant, few different hot dishes, cold cuts, fruits, a live station for eggs and bacon and sausages. We make our own juices, and of course we are there to prepare whatever guest would like to have. Then once the guests come back for lunch, again is usually buffet style with different kind of salads, at least 6 appetizers. Then we have 6 main courses with a live station that usually the chef makes pasta, head of meat or fish courses. There is always a lot of option for vegetarians, and we are here to, of course, make sure that every guest will have the request taken care. Then we prepare every day some snacks in the afternoon, cakes and fruit is always available, water, coffee and tea is always available for free for the guest. And then at night, depending on which day, we prepare different dinners. Sometimes it's a la carte, sometimes maybe an Italian dinner or an Indonesian night, barbecue on the beach, barbecue around the pool. We let the chef surprise the guest every time. These are our beautiful barbecues on the beach. And this is the restaurant inside and outside, as I was mentioning to you. Then we have a spa with 5 rooms. Even here, we produce our own products. So if a guest would like to have a coconut scrub, we actually take the coconut from the tree, prepare our own oil and give the scrub to the guest, or if someone get a little bit sunburn, we have our aloe vera plant, and the girls are very well trained to take care of the guest again. We offer a variety of treatments such as Balinese massage, traditional Indonesian massage. We do facials, pedicure, hot stone massage, and so on. Couple, of course, are welcome to have massage in the same room. And the therapists are actually all locals, but we have a school from Bali that goes every year to the resort and train them to make sure we maintain very high standards. This is a bit of how the rooms looks inside the spa. Then we have a little boutique. We make in Bali everything that we think is important for the guests while they are at the resort. During the past few years, we have been very careful to try and reduce the usage of plastic, and we have been changing a lot of our products as well. We give a bottle for the guest once they arrive at the airport, and we let them bring that bottle back with them. It's a stainless steel bottle now, and the guest can go around the resort. There are many places where they can refill the bottle. And this is not actually the only thing we are doing in terms of plastic. We try to avoid bringing plastic on the islands. We try to tell the guests to bring their batteries back. We have now produced our own sunscreen to make sure that we don't damage the reefs. So we always ask the guests to be careful together with us. Let's talk about some of the experiences. As I was telling you, we have built these beautiful yoga classes. We do yoga 2 times a week for free for the guests. Plus we have a few girls that became instructors with us, and the guests can hire them and do their own private yoga every day, all day long, as far as they book in advance. On this same room, we make cinema, presentation of the marine park that includes, what we are doing for the turtles, or we talk about frogfish or nudibranches and so on. Then we also do some night with music from a local band in Manado. That would be once a week. And we bring kids from the village to entertain us. We work together with the school. We try to do the best we can to help the kids and the local school. And in exchange, they come and always treat the guests with some nice show, if I can say so. A part of what we do at the resort, we also organize a lot of different tours, which I always say to the guests that for me the best part is the diving, of course, but many guests like to also explore the Sulawesi mainland, and that's why we offer Minahasa Highland tours, the local market in Tomon, which is a bit extreme, but many guests like to go. Then we have rafting, canyoning. We can go dolphin tour in the morning, and we actually have a couple of tour guides that are very experienced and have been doing tours with us since the beginning, and they know all the beautiful places here. We go to a place up on the hill where they built these beautiful wooden houses, Danau. On a lake that it's called Danaulino, and so on. So during the lockdown, nobody expected something like this to happen. We were really preparing ourselves for a beautiful 2020. We built this new villa. We actually closed the resort in December for 3 weeks because we wanted to change all the roof of the resort. We started planting some new foods, and then everything happened. And so we had to find a way to keep ourselves and the staff busy. And we have been actually renovating the whole resort, inside and outside the rooms. We started a full vegetable growing area, and we have a lot of pumpkins, and I'm sure that our chefs will show what they can do with all the new food that we couldn't find before in Manado, like, you know, rucola salad or whatever. And then we have been working inside the room, outside the rooms, and we have been helping the village, renovating their school, trying to, you know, to keep people busy. We have prepared a little video about about the lockdown. Please have a look at it.
So we are cleaning it for you, and we are looking forward to see you soon in Siladen. Yes.
So we created a lot of internal procedure following the World Health Organization and government recommendation. Our main goal, of course, is to keep the guests and the staff safe every time. And we are really working continuously to improve the standard. All the departments have been trained on how to properly sanitize all the areas of the resort. And to support the local village, we have actually given them the opportunity to make the mask that we are wearing. So they are produced on the island. We donated fabrics that we didn't need. And we also, you know, we're keeping buying from them, and we are preparing to make sure all the guests will have some of them. It is very difficult to, you know, to talk about coronavirus. I don't have enough experience about it, but I know that Siladen, once it will be possible to travel, it's actually a very good place to be, because the space is amazing. The resort sits on 4 hectares of land, which is 40,000 square meters. Rooms are all separate. We will make sure that if guests don't want to have contacts, they will have less contact possible. We will reduce the number of people on the boats. We will probably give one dive guide per couple that will stay for the entire time. And we are working together with the local government also to start and have rapid tests done regularly. But the problem is that at the moment we don't know when we will be able to work, to reopen, and we don't know what will happen from now till the moment we will be able to reopen. So I don't want to say much about it, but be sure that we are working very hard. We had no cases in the marine park. We had no cases in Siladen. So we have been, the staff and everybody has been very careful, and we will keep being very careful. So I am sure I forgot to say so many things about the resort. You know, people that have been at the resort have always come back to stay with us. It's a big family. I started these many years back, and now that there is this virus, I actually realize how important it is for me, for my family, for everybody at the resort to have people around us. You know, it's very sad that we are close, but I be sure that we will be there, if possible, even better than before. Thank you very much for watching the presentation. And now if you have any question, I'm really here to answer all your questions.